constant that it was also in the story of Adam and Eve. When they gain intelligence, all of a sudden they want to cover up. However, they are pretty curious. The clothes that he finds, and he's an animal, so he doesn't even care about how you should show up. He's almost like gender fluid in a certain sense. And the choice of clothes reminded me a little bit of the character of Eleven from the series Stranger Things. So wondering.
It was a reference.
Yeah. Oh, so
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
I saw the right reference. So this was the reason for that choice.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we think about it a lot because we know that the wolf doesn't have reference. So he takes some clothes in the forest, and we have a cave full of them, like Little Mermaid, that she once became human and she picked up something. So it's more or less like this. And when he became human, he put things that the first of.
And easy to dress because
Yeah.
the wolf is not going to put a pants like and tie the shoes. It's like a dress, the first that he finds in the
Yeah.
cave.
And how are we supposed to interpret the final scene of this film? What is going to happen?
I think that he wants to be part of a group, and he doesn't do it in any moment. So only in the final scene we can make this can be possible
Okay.
to sleep with them and feel like part of the member.
Okay. And now, are you working already to other projects? Can we expect from you?
Step by step, we are thinking about it, but now we are focused on this project.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the audience? Don't be shy. Okay, so thank you for being here. I wish you all
Thank you
good
too.
luck, and I hope that all of you will enjoy seeing Son Pardos.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So. Здравейте, чувате ли ме?
Hello, everyone.
Are those things like fine here or? Да ги махна ли направо всички тия неща?
Hello everyone, I'm Cassandra from the team of the 20th edition of In the Palace International Short Film Festival, and right now we are here with Marin Rangelov, director and actor from Bulgaria, who is here to present his film Red Admiral. And first of all, we can see the trailer. Hi Marin, thank you for being here today. So to start the conversation about this movie, I would like to start from the beginning, basically from the title, which is very important, and also in the ending part of the film, it is stated that the Red Admiral is a butterfly who has got an important symbolism in many cultures. So do you want to talk more about that?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for the invitation. About the title, it's symbolic, as you already said. Most of the people, they don't know exactly what is it. Is it like some, a guy from the army or etc. But actually, it's a butterfly, and Red Admiral is a specific butterfly with some cultures believe it's a symbol of, it's really separate because some people think it's a bad thing, it's a dangerous, fearful butterfly, but other cultures think it's actually a relief, like a god who can save you. And when I was developing the script, I was really looking for a name that can be diverse and at the same time to speak a lot about the whole idea. And if you watch the film and on the trailer, you can see that the lead actress, she has a butterfly tattoo on her back, which again is something important, that the whole story is with the butterfly inside.
Yeah, in fact, I noticed also that there was quite of an ambiguity because Christine, the main character, is at the same time the Red Admiral, but at the same time there is also one of the bad guys, let's say, that at the phone it's called the Admiral as well.
Yeah.
So we can notice this ambiguity.
Yeah, it was, again, on purpose, just to trick the audience a little, because it's a short film, you don't have a lot of time, and you have to try to, have beginning, middle, end, and at the same time, I tried with this film to get the audience in the shoes of the main character and try to pop up some things from the deep water, and with those, similarity with the names, I wanted to try ask the audience if they watch the film, with a close eye.
And also, you said that this film was inspired by some true stories. In fact, you also stated a lot of a percentage about prostitution and human trafficking. And I was wondering if also the character of Christina was based on some real characters.
Yeah, actually, when I was developing the script, I was at a stage of my life where I was watching a lot of documentaries, short films, and TV series, and there were a couple episodes for girls that were trafficked, and their stories were so powerful that how they escaped, how they survived, and now they're willing to share their heart and like their past, which is something really dangerous sometimes. And there was one particular story from a girl. I'm not gonna say her name, but yeah, she actually was willing to share her story, and it was really close to what you saw in the movie. So it's inspired by her personal story, but at the end I added some little sparks of imagination, and I did it on my own.
And actually, I was about to ask you really this: what is the challenge of taking a real story and trying to reinterpret it through fiction?
It's a challenge because at the end, it's something real. And if I want to add some, fictional elements that I think are cool, if I can say, they can ruin the whole real thing here. But at the same time, it helps me because when I gave the script to my crew and they were like, "Is this like real? Can this happen?" I was like, "It happened. Like maybe not in the same way, but like." The whole picture is this one. And back in the days in Bulgaria here, when we had our mobster days, for example, it was really common for if they want to murder someone and they want to clear their hands, they used to use prostitutes as a way of, she killed him. And the poor girl didn't knew what's going to happen. She's going there for, whatever she has to do because she's forced, and all of a sudden she's in trap and she can't escape. But at the end, I'm not gonna spoil anything. If you watch, maybe she does, or I don't know.
So now let's talk about a little bit about your career. Basically, this is your first debut film as a director. Before that, you were an actor as well. So what were the main challenges you had to face as a director with the first movie?
Yeah. First, I used to paint. I graduated as an artist, like Fine School of Arts. After that, I graduated as an actor, and this is my main job. And throughout the years, I've always wanted to share some stories that I think are important and have messages, to the people, and they can, stick in your brain and try to, make you think. And it wasn't really like a no-brainer. When I graduated acting, I immediately was like, I should go and study a master's degree of film directing. And it's easy for me personally, because my crew, they're people that I used to work as an actor in TV series here in Bulgaria, in other films. And when I got the script, I was like, hey, can you come? I want to share something with you. Are you interested in working with me here on that project? And actually, they were like, "Oh, yeah, this is really interesting, and I want to see how you can handle this because it's another thing to be in front and at the other side of the camera." But it was really calm actually, because I, as an actor, know what's important to hear from the director if I have to do something specific. And with the actors in the film, it was so easy. I did my homework, if I can say, and at the end, it was just, fun at the shooting day.
In fact, you are an all-round artist. Basically, you just said that you are also a painter. So I'm wondering, does it help you somehow when you are looking for some vision references?
Yes, definitely. It helped a lot because after I wrote the script, I was making my own storyboard because I wanted to visualize exactly how it's gonna look like. And I took references from great classics, mostly from Martin Scorsese, and I actually screenshotted like part of his films, and I gave them to the DOP. I was like, "Yeah, I want that. Can we do that?" Then he was like, "Well, we don't have the money, so yeah, we have to adjust a little things." And but I'm really happy because when I started, because I produced the film, and when I started searching the tools how to create it the way I wanted it to be. We wanted to shoot with Ari, couldn't afford it. Wanted to shoot with Red, same story. And then I was like, you know what, the camera is important, but not the most important. I mean, it's up to the guys behind the camera to create the whole thing. Because I've seen films that are shot with so many money in the bank, and I don't think this is the most important thing. If you have a story to tell and the right people to do it, it's a dream come true.
Yeah, in fact, it's the more and more common to shoot film with a low budget, just using phones, and many people do that. And what do you think? It's making directing movies more easy for people and to approach the art of filmmaking?
I mean, definitely it's more easy because there are festivals dedicated to short films shoot with iPhone or different smartphone, which is nice because anyone who has a story in mind can try and give its best to execute his idea, which is good and bad, I think, sometimes because nowadays there are so many movies that you're like, what should I watch? I mean, and it's I don't know. I mean, I think you should always try to do the things you have in mind, and if it's working, it's working. If not, okay. But definitely with the high tech stuff and the cameras all around us, it's helping the young filmmakers to share their beliefs and their stories.
Are you already preparing your next film?
Yeah, actually, we shot it. It's just 10 minutes long romantic comedy because I wanted to see myself because this one is drama, thriller, horror, or no, not horror, like crime stuff, Red Admiral, and I wanted to jump in the opposite direction. And the film is called False Start, and it's a romantic comedy story. Just one date between actually the same actors that are in the film, and you can hopefully see them next year in a different light, because they're way different than this one. And it was one day shoot, one evening shoot actually. It's something, the vibe is close to Notting Hill, like, because I love those, classics back in the days. And yeah, we're in post-production right now.
So we're looking forward to watch it in the next edition, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully,
Why not?
if it's selected. Yeah.
Do we have any questions from the audience? It's fine. So thank you for being here, and we'll see you around. And go and watch Red Admiral. It really deserves a lot. So
Thank you so much
thank
for
you a lot.
the questions, and yeah, you're amazing. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Do you have my sound? Do you have my voice? Hello, hello. Okay. Is it okay now?
Hello everyone, I'm Cassandra from the team of the 20th edition of In the Palace International Short Film Festival, and today we are here with Shirin Eklazi, director from Iran, who is here to present his short film Acid Base. Let's watch the trailer.
Киселинна основа се казва филмът.
راه دوم من بگم فلان و فلان و یه جایی مرد کار کنه اسی خطر چی میخوای؟ اساسی
Hello Shirin.
Hello.
Thank you for being here. It is a privilege to have you here to speak about your movie. Acid Base basically is the story that tells the story of a guy, Hamid. It takes place in Tehran. And this guy, Hamid, is trying to buy some acid in an illegal way with the purpose of throwing it on her lover's face. It is a very tragic story, and actually it comes in a very specific historical period. In fact, this film was ultimated some months before the protests that took place in Iran following the death of Mahsa Amini. So what I want to ask you first is, what is for you the role of art and artists in general in a social change?
Well, generally I believe that artists in Iran has very important role to make people aware. Although we have to fight a lot against government, because government are trying to force us to not making this kind of film. And for example, my film didn't allow to be screened in Iran. And but we somehow find a way to make awareness in people. And for example, in recent protests, so many artists get arrested, and so many of them are still in jail. And so it's a really difficult situation, but I'm positive because I believe that society is going to change, although the situation is getting very hard for artists. Yeah, and now we hardly can work.
So I imagine being an artist in Iran, and just not only a filmmaker, but a filmmaker as a woman is even more difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult because at the same time I'm fighting against the government, against so many things, and so I have to find a way to create my films. And I believe that I have to do something, and for example, the acid splashing was a very important issue that happened in Iran in 2014. A religious man, a really powerful religious man, declared in one of his speech that society should be unsafe for women that's not wearing suitable hijab. And so a few days later, some religious extremists started to splashing acid on the women's face. And the government covered up the situation, and they didn't arrest anyone until now. And so people started to splashing acid on women's face freely and with no fear of get arresting. And so there is always the possibility of being victim of acid splashing in Iran. And yes, personally, I'm kind of afraid of after being the next victim, but I accept this fate if it happened for me, because I believe in something, and I decided to continue living in Iran and do something. And so if that's my fate, I would accept it. Yeah.
You are a brave woman.
Oh, thank you.
You are. And in fact, what is noticed also is that in your film, you're not afraid to show reality for what it is. Some people would use censorship not to show some things, but it was visually very gut-wrenching, because it was really difficult to watch.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of tension, and also it was visually stunning from the cinematography point of view, but also for all the vision of the effect of the acid on the skin of the people. And so, basically, what is your vision about you? Should we keep showing things for how they are, and with no fear of being labeled as too cruel?
You know, I got so many comments that my film is a little brutal and difficult to watch, but I believe that, okay, so many people are not aware that how much is painful to be a victim of acid splashing. And so I try to use the cinematic capacity to show a little bit of the pain and how can it be so terrifying. And, you know, I believe that it's not a revenge story, because the woman is trying to, you know, correct something to prevent the serial acid splashing. And, you know, if you have a child, if you tell your child, okay, fire is dangerous, he or she would not accept unless you show him a little bit of the warmth of the burn of fire. And so then they will understand. And so the woman in my film is trying to show the man, okay, how it can be painful. And it's something very cruel to do with another people. So you should stop it, and you should help us to stop other people for doing that. And it was a difficult production for me to create those effects of fume and acids. And it took those inserts took 1 day to create. Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, here in the film, the change comes through the will of a woman, but basically she is also supported by her entourage from her organization.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like we can bring change, but even if it's the story about a woman, they also need support by men. It's like saying that it's not just about us, it's about everyone.
Yeah. I believe that in previous protests in Iran, men finally realized that freedom, if they want their freedom, first they have to get the freedom of women, and so they can get free. And so freedom is come after unity. All the genders, all the people should be unit together, and they can change so many things.
Fighting for the same causes, basically.
Yeah.
And also in this film, you work together with Farshad Radzaei.
Yeah.
Sorry if I butchered the name. He wrote the script. And how did you put together your ideas about this topic, about this film specifically?
You know, we both come from the same city, Isfahan, where the serial acid attack happened there. And we both have same background, although he's a man and I'm a woman, but we have so things in common. And he knew about my how my minds work, and you know, women's issues are really important for me. And so I told him, okay, I'm really afraid of being a victim of acid splashing, and so I want to create a film about it. And he just wrote it. The first version of it, the script was a little different, and I told him, okay, I want a woman to be ahead of acid base, and so we make a little change, and together we could get the final result. Yeah.
And this is not even your first film because previously you had directed other films. And I was wondering, are there any recurring elements in your filmmaking? Maybe recurring topics, recurring features?
The first one is about, it's a kind of anti-war film. It's about a girl who was raped in war. It's an imaginary war, and she tries to get revenge. And I was just wanted to show that any kind of war is bad because violence brings violence. And the second one is a documentary about an African refugee in Germany, and it's about his sad story. And I have a short animation. It's 3-minute animation. I made it for UNICEF, and it's about natural issue. And this is my fourth one.
In fact, you also have a background in illustration animation.
Yes.
How was the challenge of passing from that to directing a film with real people in real life?
Yeah. Actually, when I was 16, I just thought that, okay, I'm going to be an animator and animation director, but there is no BA for animation in Iran. So I had to study cinema, and I saw that, okay, cinema has so many capacity that you can create movies faster than animation, and you can work with so many people, and teamwork is so interesting for me. So I decided to enter the field of cinema, but I use my animation background because I became an visual artist. And for example, I can create 3D storyboards, and which can help me a lot to know my vision and show my vision to my crew, and they exactly know what I want.
Yeah, there are some different point of views about storyboards. Some director thinks it's mandatory to do a storyboard. Some other thinks no, just do by spontaneous things. So you are about having everything planned, or yeah. And are you thinking about your next project already?
Yes, I've already applied my next project in Filmforge in the Palace Festival, and it's kind of a middle-length film, and it's a Iranian science fiction film that, which is the first. If I can make it, it would be the first science fiction film in Middle East. Yeah.
That's a lot. That's great.
Yeah.
Wow, we are curious to watch it. So
Yeah, I hope I can
in the
make
next
it.
edition. Yeah, I wish you so.
Yeah.
And do we have any questions from the audition? No? Okay. So thank you a lot for being here. It was a privilege speaking to you, and I invite you all to watch Acid Base because it's really powerful and it deserves a lot.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone, and see you.
Thank you.
Това и това, нали така?
Точно. Първо започваме с последното.
Hello.
Така стана.
Just.
Така стана. Не знам. С контракт.
You for the documentary.
Hello. Thank you for being here at this Q&A session about the documentary films and your student documentary film, Contraction. My name is Andrea Nasteva, and can you, in the Palace crew, can you please tell me a bit more about yourself? Can you present yourself?
So I'm Christoph. Thanks for the invitation and choosing the film. I'm like in the last bachelor's year from my documentary film studies in Switzerland, and this film was from my second year, where we had to like 6 months to create a film, like a documentary film, or you could even do experimental or essay, or kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see the trailer first, and then we can proceed with the...
Да представим с тази си работа в рамките на обучението. Нека видим сега трейлера на филма.
Are you ready to meet your sister or brother? Brother and sister. This is the girl. Olivia, sometimes you see what's going on. Are you scared? Okay. What can I do to help you?
Okay. Can you please tell me more? You said you had 6 months to do this project.
Yes.
Was that a
So-
challenge? How did you decide to be a documentary? Because you said it can either be experimental, documentary. Where did it come from, this idea?
I think like my first point was that I wanted to make like direct cinema without like any interaction of me with the character. That was like the first point. And then I think I quickly came up with like the whole midwife and giving birth theme.
How did that happen? Where, because you're male, where does the story ends and the documentary begins, your own life story?
I think it's like I sometimes want to like make stories of people that have great responsibility and like are in the shadow and don't get like recognized for it often. And so that was like the starting point. And then I actually don't know, like quickly came up this theme with the midwives, and then it was quite a challenge to find like midwives that actually would participate, because it's such an intimate moment for the families and so on. And then I wrote about I think 30 hospitals and like birth houses, and mostly declined me or even did not respond. And luckily, like Michelle, the one who's portrayed now, wrote back, and she will participate.
No, but this is such a special moment to have to see the routine of a maternity nurse, and this is something that happens every day. But it's such a special and magical moment, and you succeed to show it to us, to the public, to everyone. So thank you for this. This is amazing. maybe you said you came with the idea for the housewife, the woman as a main character in movies, because this is your first film, right? Yeah. Do you think you will continue with other projects with the same theme? Do you have any project for the future? Something to tell us?
I think like I will. There's not a particular idea right now. I will like with this topic of having great responsibility. Like the next project is a little bit more personal with my family. But yeah, I would like to continue with this theme of showing professions and working jobs and so on.
For example, which job would you like to present next?
Well, good question. There is in England there is a guy who does maintenance of the lighthouses for the ships, which isn't done often by now because like most of them are automatically lighthouses. So maybe that's a topic I will follow on, but we will see.
We'll see. A very interesting one. So maybe if the public has any questions, we can.
Okay.
Okay. Well, actually, I wanted to ask you because as I was watching the film and I'm part of the public, not the interesting industry, but maybe I wanted to ask you how this the maternity nurse that is presented in your film, we can see her during all the hours of the day, just this monotonous routine, but it's such a maybe difficult job that maybe do you think it's appreciated and talked about enough in society?
I don't think so. That's also a part why I did this film, like to give them a platform and show like the hard work they do and like to support them and yeah, show this
give them the recognition they deserve. They deserve. Thank you for this interview, for this short discussion.
Thank you very much. Thanks for listening.
Prova.
Не, добре си, добре си. Ето, даже се чувам. Супер. Hello.
Hello, thank you so much for
Thank you so
inviting me.
much for being here for this Q&A session we're doing today. We're continuing with a documentary film. My name is Andrea Nasta from the crew of International Film Festival in the Palace. Can you please present yourself?
I'm Petya Atanasova. I'm a filmmaker from Bulgaria. I just recently finished my education as film director. And the movie that I'm presenting here is actually the movie that I was, the one that I finished my education with. It's a student film. So the future is ahead of me, and I'm really excited of all of the things that are coming.
Great, we're going to follow up on that topic, but let's first see the trailer.
Нека сега да видим трейлера на филма и след това ще продължим по тази тема.
Okay, we're going to continue with the discussion. So, as I watched the film, your main character, Abel, is that right? He's from the Philippines, and you're from Bulgaria.
Yes.
How did you meet? Where did you meet? Tell us everything.
Actually, it was really, really special meeting because. So let me start from the beginning. I was in Portugal for my Erasmus, and this was my last semester of the education. I was feeling really stressed because the time was already here and I had to make a movie, and I had this idea in my mind that I want to make something for mental health, something that will help a lot of people, because we as a young people in that age, we suffer a lot from all kind of mental issues. And I was having something in my mind, but I couldn't find the people and the way to express all of this. And actually, I met Abel as a therapist. So I had a therapy session with him. And I saw his appearance and his social media, his energy and face, and something started to speak. And I was like, okay, it was really good session, thank you so much, but what do you think of making something together like a movie? Because I saw his pictures as a ballet dancer, like really amazing pictures on the beach. And I wanted to do a poetic documentary, and all the things start to come together, and he said, yes, I want to do something like this. Do you want to hear my story? And then he told me his story, and I was like completely shocked and also excited, because this was everything that I wanted to make. And we started to create.
So the topics that are in your movie, they're a bit heavy topics about rape, about mental health, about drugs even. So do you think these are topics that are talked about even here in Bulgaria, or maybe in other countries?
Maybe I can say yes. A lot of these topics are in the movies, but it's really rare for a person with his face and true self to come out and express this truth.
Yes,
and
it's very brave.
To say these things in such a truthful way.
Exactly. And you said you wanted to make a poetic movie. So with this paysage of the beach and the contrast between the beach and the beautiful scenery and the story, it's so obvious, but in a way it makes your movie very, very special.
Thank you so much.
How did you come with this beach view in your head before making it?
So I am fan of really deep topics and deep conversations, but also I'm a fan of movies that inspired, that brings hope and beauty, and go to point the direction of the life may be tough sometimes, but what can we do? How can we create something beautiful? And these two things brought me to this type of movie, to tell this deep, truthful story, but in a beautiful, inspiring way.
Yes, because we see at the end of the movie, as we saw yesterday here, yes, it ends beautifully. It ends with, it gives us hope for the future, even though someone who is predetermined not to achieve his goals, his main dreams, at the end he succeeds to get over it, to get over everything that has happened to him.
Yes, because I really truly believe that the true success is to feel calm and to be with peaceful mind. So this is the success of Abel's story.
Exactly. But do you believe that we need difficulties in our life in order to grow and to achieve more?
From my story and my point of view, the answer will be yes. I hope for the future, like the new generation is really amazing for me and the people that I know. I believe that for them will be different. Maybe the life for them can be lighter and with not so many stressful situations, but for our generation, often this was the case.
Exactly, I think so, the same. But maybe lighter, does it mean they don't grow? Does that mean they don't evolve as people? I think the younger generation, maybe it's a bit more open to the mental health issues and topics. Do you think so?
Exactly. And this is actually the case that will bring them to lighter life, because they come here right now with all this knowledge. The main thing is actually that their parents are more aware of our parents, I think.
Maybe yes. What about next projects?
So the next one, I think of two projects. A documentary for a superwoman in Bulgaria.
Okay.
I met amazing women and their stories, and to create a documentary about this. And the other thing will be spiritual female movie. And it will be something to point the direction of this conflict between feminism and anti-feminism.
Okay, tell me about that more. If we can go back to anti-feminism, feminism. In Bulgaria, maybe, or where did you graduate?
So I used to study in Berlin. I used to study in Portugal, and here in Bulgaria as well. And this living abroad show me another universe for the women. Like here in Bulgaria, it's sometimes rare to see a powerful woman who believe in themselves, who believe that they can achieve like amazing career. But the main inspiration behind my idea and this movie is the issue that sometimes we as a woman achieve great and big things in our career, but behind this is actually I don't remember the word in English.
Angriness.
Yeah, we are very angry at someone or something, and this gives us the power to achieve many things, and I believe this sometimes can be unhealthy. And I want to make a story about this and to point the questions. Of course, I don't want to give answer, but I just met so many stories around this topic, and I think it will be interesting for women nowadays to watch something like this.
And you said that sometimes about the woman's ignorance. Is that the case with you?
Partly, yes. Until one moment I was that woman that want to show I can. So some people, they said, you can do it, and I was like, I will show you I can. But this was until one moment. After that, and this is ego and all this type of stuff that in some point you have to just leave behind, and it's all about sharing, it's all about that we are here to work for the others and to give something to others.
To inspire, to give hope.
Exactly.
Right? Thank you so much for this interview, this Q&A session. If anyone has any questions, they're welcome. So thank you so much,
Thank you so
Petja.
much.
Let's give a round of applause.